Hey, thanks for watching. Before we go too far, hit the subscribe, the like, leave a comment, tell your mom about us, and the bell, and enjoy. Later.
Great.
Congratulations, Donald Trump, on your re-election.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing
Number
that.
2,
Nope.
Joe Biden.
Congratulations, Joe Biden, on the election.
There it is. A brilliant TV right
Trump is the first president to not get reelected for a second term in our lifetime.
there. Did Clinton get 2 terms?
Mm-hmm.
He did, right? Yeah.
No, you're not that old.
Well, dude,
What?
how old?
What?
He would have to
Carter?
be.
Or was it Reagan? Who was before Clinton? Or was it either one of those?
I couldn't
was-
tell you.
I feel like it was Reagan.
Before Clinton?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Daddy Bush?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And
That's
he
right.
was only 1 term, I think.
Yeah.
Was he?
I'm 90% sure of that.
It was Herbert Walker.
Well,
Reagan?
Burbard.
Scribbit.
Jimmy Carter though was right before Bush, number 1, right?
No.
I don't know.
Jimmy Carter's close in there. Or is it Gerald Ford? I don't know.
Oh, if only there was a way to find that out.
Dude, my
Wait, where did
thumbs-
Andrew Jackson
My thumbs
fall?
are resting.
Andrew Jackson was somewhere in the 70s, right?
Yeah, the
Guys.
1970s.
I'm drinking again.
He's back.
He's back on the wagon.
The boys
Off
are
the
back
wagon?
in town.
On the wagon. Off the wagon.
Off the wagon?
I made it though.
No, he's off
Made
the
it.
wagon.
He's off the wagon.
Off the
No.
wagon.
So how
Yeah,
wild?
I feel like-
I think it's because you fell off the wagon because you were drunk. I think that's where it comes from.
How wild did Saturday get?
It wasn't wild. It
Whoa.
wasn't wild.
It was wild for Charlie.
After
Charlie,
you left.
So hey,
it
who
was
drank?
wild.
Well, did you win the bet?
What?
The pool, the money?
No. Well,
Cody did.
Cody did, but he said he'd share it with me because we were the only 2 that made it the whole month.
I mean,
Who drank
hear
the
me out.
most? I thought that was
No,
the
no, no, no,
deciding
We
no,
didn't-
no,
factor.
no,
we
we didn't do that.
threw that
but I
out.
definitely drank
Charlie-
the most
Charlie
Saturday.
definitely did. Also, hear me out.
he was like, "I'm gonna beat all you guys," and we're like, "We're
You-
not racing."
Well, I would. But you say you guys are gonna split the money, like you're not just gonna spend that money on more booze.
I mean, that's exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
I
But
wish we could pay in right there.
Man, you should have seen the fridge out there.
Dude,
On
I've seen
Saturday.
it right now. And
It-
if it's just leftovers from Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, we have. I mean, there's a whole case still sitting on the counter too.
All right,
'cause
if
it
anyone's
wasn't fit.
curious, so
We're
it's
not.
Okay.
Clinton, Bush, and then Reagan, and then Carter.
Clinton,
Bush, Reagan, Carter. Okay.
Reagan. Yeah, but so because Daddy Bush was Reagan's vice president.
Vice president, yep.
Yep.
Anyway, really cool.
Anyway,
Easy 2020.
I'm interested to see what this week will bring.
Chaos.
I feel like if
Pandemonium.
Trump gets reelected, it's going to be nuts. And I feel like if Biden doesn't, if he does, it probably won't be that bad.
I think if Trump gets reelected, there will be violence in the streets, and I think if Biden gets reelected, there won't be. And I think that says a lot about the 2 parties.
I don't. In which way
Yes.
do you say? Do you say that Biden supporters are just crazy, or are you saying that like Trump
No,
is inciting violence?
I think there are domestic terrorists that have been rioting for 140 days in a row in
Okay.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And they are literally preparing
They're boarding up
Portland
DC.
today. They're
a
boarding
lot of
up
places.
everything on street level, basically.
But hear me out. Also, imagine if you put in all that work to board up the place and it goes to be useless. That's kind of a,
It probably would. If someone wants to loot, they'll find a way.
Yeah, those size 9 Nike shoes
My
won't
buddy at
steal
work-
themselves.
My buddy,
They won't steal themselves.
my buddy at work was like, "Well, I hope Trump wins." He's like, "I've been wanting a new TV."
It's so sad.
Honestly,
so
I was
sad, but
thinking
that's
about
what it
this.
is, really.
So, Chad knows this YouTuber. You might, I don't know. But plug Fleckus.
Yeah, Focus Talk.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah, he is.
And I've been rewatching a bunch of his stuff lately over the last 4 years, and it just got me thinking. Like, so let's say Trump loses tomorrow, his presidency will be over, and so for the entire presidency of Donald Trump, those protesters got nothing done.
Yeah, no. not
Literally
one
nothing
single thing.
done.
Not a single thing.
Like, we got to get this guy out of office. Well, good luck. I mean, he's still in there. So-
Imagine I'm not saying this like mocking or rubbing it in, but imagine the embarrassment of the Democratic Party to lose to Trump twice in a row.
I thought about that in
Imagine.
2016. I thought about
When's
that.
the last time you saw Hillary Clinton on TV?
Who?
Hillary Clinton.
Election night.
Oh yeah.
Election night. What happens to Biden?
Do
He'll
you,
keel over. He'll keel over.
Yeah.
have you
I
guys?
think he'll keel over either way, though.
Tomorrow, if he loses, it's his last night on Earth.
Probably.
Honestly, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's funny. That's funny, Evan. I'm glad that got a chuckle out of you. Old people dying is funny. I'm glad we established it now.
I thought it was a joke. But
Well, I mean, it's like one of those things. It's like people like us, people who are who try not to take life too seriously. We're the kind of people are like voting for Kanye isn't funny, and we're like,
it's kind of
it's a little funny.
It's kind of funny.
I was talking to somebody else about this. Somebody who, by the way,
this state, because this is going to be a red state no matter what.
I was talking to somebody who's voting for Biden, by the way, and I was like, hear me out. It'd be terrible if Kanye won. At the same time, I mean, that'd be really entertaining.
I don't know that it would be that terrible, but
I don't think he would know what he was doing.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
I don't know about that.
he hasn't
trying
done.
to associate with all those old farts.
Oh, no,
and
no,
like
no, yeah.
Can you
work
imagine him
with
at like a
them.
UN meeting?
He just comes up in some Yeezy slides.
Dude, I
Like
want some of those so
the ones
bad.
that were like way too small. Did you ever see that?
You see the ones that were way too big? Those
Yeah,
huge ones he
yeah.
wore?
He shows up in the Yeezy slides and the big box
Well,
thing.
yeah, for the music
That was like
video.
making fun of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, he stepped out to an event in some of the Yeezy slides, and his heel was falling off the end like
yeah,
that much.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's like forgot his right pair and don't wear his wife's pair or something.
So, like, hear me out. I've been definitely this year more than most, and it's election year, obviously. I've been getting more into political stuff. So, honestly, answer this question. I think all of us in here, like, I know Chad's kind of stated his political views. You guys seem to share kind of all our similar kind of political ideology.
I'll let you assume that, yes.
So, like,
I
I give you permission.
I can't express, like, I can't literally express my actual views for. Like,
Yeah, I don't think
work.
like what we like. Oh, gotcha. Anyway, so someone said, and then a coworker said it to me first. Then I saw it online, and they said, all you people that are voting for Biden, without naming Trump, why are you voting for Biden? So basically, they're saying that the only people that are voting for Biden are voting for him to get Trump out. They don't actually like Biden.
Well, and that's like what we talked about last week. If we didn't only have two legitimate parties,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
You would have another option.
Yeah.
That wasn't just the opposite of the one you don't want.
Right. Right.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. So basically, I don't think anyone actually likes Biden.
So I was talking with my brother-in-law a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if I've said this. I can't remember if I have, but I'm going to say it again. We were talking about the election, whatever, and I was making the point. I was like, have you ever seen 21 Jump Street? There's a part where they're in the hallway and the coach is like...
And he says, "My name's Jeff."
No. He's like, look, if I wasn't the coach of this track team, I'd be laughing my ass off. But I am the coach. That's how that's kind of how I am. I'm like, look, if this wasn't our election, I'd be laughing my ass off. This is our election.
It's our election, but
It's not funny no more.
Ain't yo ho no mo.
What do you think about people who take like a personal, emotional investment in who the president is?
Those are people who have way too much time on their hands and are caring way too much about the wrong things. I think it's important to care about the election, but if that is like your number one
just buy
thing,
into the bullcrap that people feed them.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
and
think about like
that's
what
the thing is that the whole. So my parents participated in my family participated in the Trump train on Saturday.
gasp.
700 over 700 vehicles, and they drove around for 7 hours.
Yeah.
And they were saying that like the whole time they were driving, like there were people that were like trying to cut them off, and they were flipping them off. People were hanging out the windows, cussing at them, and all this, and just being mean.
Yeah.
Like, and like they were getting personally offended at these people that are driving around showing their support for
tolerant
a
left.
presidential candidate, the tolerant left. They were cutting people off. They were brake checking them, like, and it's like. These, and I was talking to my mom about it today, like, no matter what, like, these are human beings. Like, we are treating other human beings like this because of their political views. Like, why do we have to be so ugly about it? Like, if your guy doesn't win, you got 4 years, and the next election, try better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, they're hurting themselves, honestly, in my opinion.
Exactly.
yeah.
It all stems from the critical race theory. It all stems from that because these people are taking the stuff that critical race theory preaches and they're applying it to everything across the board. Basically, like if you passively support an oppressive system, even if you don't see it or disagree that it's oppressive or directly benefit from it, you are literally the same as the oppressive system. They're taking that thing and applying it to everything across the board. Like every issue is the same as like race problems in America. That's not true. Yeah. Like the race issues in America are incredibly complex. You can't take the logic people use to try to understand that. Yeah.
Cool.
You can't take that logic and apply it to everything. It just doesn't make sense. And it's not that serious. Most stuff isn't that serious.
Did you guys see whenever it was a couple years ago with the whole collusion thing? That
which collusion?
Russian collusion with the
Russian
with
or
Trump.
The China.
You mean the thing that they're
second
still
Russian
bringing
one?
up from time to time?
Yeah, the thing that got proven that Trump didn't do. You know who Rachel Maddow is?
Around the first election?
Yeah. You know Rachel Maddow? You know who she is?
I have a picture in my head.
Yeah, she reports for MSNBC. She got short hair. You would know if you saw her.
Yeah.
Not Megyn Kelly, right?
Love
Megyn Kelly.
This shows you how messed up people are, or like people who like just hate Trump are. Are you done?
No, no, I'm not.
She got teary-eyed on live camera, reporting that Trump was found innocent of collusion, and she was getting teary-eyed.
I'm so sad that he didn't do it, and we can't be mad at him for doing that.
I know, and that's the thing. That's where I first saw it. Is that Fleckis guy? He went, and that came out. He's like, let's find out if people are excited that our president didn't collude. And they're like, how do you feel about Trump being found innocent? And they're like, I don't believe that.
It's like you don't get to not believe what the court says.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some scenarios in which you can.
Like what?
OJ.
They proved OG killed them in the civil trial. He proved that he killed them.
I love bringing up OJ with you because you're like so passionate about it.
Oh my
gosh. You have no stake in it, but you're like, hold on.
Did you guys see that Jeffrey Toobin thing? The reporter that whipped out his junk on the Zoom call with all his coworkers?
Yeah.
You had briefly mentioned this like a couple podcasts ago.
Okay,
something.
So Jeffrey Toobin, that guy who whipped his junk out in front of all of his coworkers, he wrote like the big expose on OJ when OJ was in prison, like the comprehensive one that is basically like, here's the facts, here's where the criminal trial screwed up and why, he did it, he killed them. So he's pretty blatant about that in that book. OJ has a Twitter now.
Yeah.
And he puts videos out. He's like, hello, Twitter world. Have you seen
It's
those?
yours truly.
Yeah, you know.
I know, dude.
He got
one
on Twitter
out.
like the day he got out of prison.
Yeah, he put one out, and he's like, Jeffrey Toobin, is that what happened? He's like, you did what now? I'm like, dude, that's savagery, pure savagery.
So like, what is it? Because this has happened multiple times with a few different people. What in their brain makes them think, oh, we're having a Zoom call? It's all good.
They can't see this.
He was like, I put myself on mute. I apologize to all of my coworkers, but I'm taking some time off for a different personal reason. Don't worry about me.
That reminds me, a couple podcasts ago, I remember I saw the video of that guy, I don't remember his name is, that was walking off stage that looked like he crapped his pants.
Yeah.
So did you watch that?
Yeah, you made us watch it.
No, I didn't.
You pulled it up here. Or Charlie did when you were talking about
that's
it.
right,
Yeah.
he did.
Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I saw that on the first.
He pooped his pants, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nadler.
For sure.
Who was it that was like Nancy Pelosi was right there and like coming up and trying to talk, and she's like,
And he's like holding
He's
on to the
taking
stand,
forever.
and he's like,
Yeah.
he's got poop
he's sweating,
sliding down
just
his pant
sweating,
leg.
dude. He's like,
He's like, if there's a turd on this floor right now, I'm gonna keep walking.
how did that get there? That's like my story.
I've never seen that in my life.
When I wish you would have been here for the poop
Never
your
heard
pants
of it.
story. I wish you'd have been here for the poop your pants podcast we had. And briefly,
Toilet talk.
what mine ended in is I pooped in the lobby of a hotel outside of a pool. And granted, I was like 7, I was like 9 or 10 or something.
A child still.
Yeah. But what's funny is I go in, like, I pooped, and I walk into my friend. He's in the pool, and I just pooped in the floor out there. And I was like, dude. He's like, what? I was like, someone crapped in That's where Chad broke the chairs when I told that story.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite story like that is from a different podcast. It's called Super Mega. Look it up. But they were going through a phase where they were Snapchatting their turds falling in the toilet as they were pooping. That was like their thing. They would just Snapchat the turd drop. And so this guy, he's like, hold on, I've got to go take a dump. And he goes in their apartment lobby bathroom. And so he's kind of like squatting so he can get the camera down there. And
Wait, they get the video of it happening?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I thought it was just the sound.
No. And so he does his business, and then he's like, and then he looks at the phone. And
oh, no.
You hear the sound, and nothing goes in the toilet bowl. And then he looks behind him, and he crapped like full-on diarrhea all over the back of the toilet. In the lobby of his apartment.
This
building.
is quality content right here.
Oh, that kills me every time.
Nope.
So Chad and
anyway.
steaks here. Back to revisit that.
What?
Chad and his steaks. Lack of 5. 5, he said.
Chad knows exactly how many steaks
I talked to
he's had.
JT, and JT said he's had like maybe 10.
That is double what you've had.
Okay, still.
He's at least in double digits.
I also don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Oh, wait, which one, me or JT?
That he's had less than 10 or even 10. I don't believe that.
I feel like he would have had more too.
Yeah. His dad grilled a lot. We would go to his place and grill a lot.
But
He's definitely had more than that.
He could have had it could have always just been burgers, right?
I doubt it.
Can we talk about Chad's need to always prove someone wrong?
It's not prove somebody wrong.
No, not that it's specifically, but when we were talking about it, about when I made those garbage steaks at Cody's.
I was just trying to get one over on you, and nobody to back me up.
I have to find it. There was something
Just
else
one time, I want to back up on something that I knew it was bull crap, but I just wanted the backup to try and get you all over.
And you know what it does to us whenever you specifically ask us to back you up?
It makes
us not want
less
to back you up
inclined.
even more.
And
which
it
is
makes
why
you look sad and pathetic.
Which is, and I don't need help from you guys to look like that. But that just shows how terrible friends you are.
But I was saying, what made
because I would do that
lying.
I would lie for you, Will.
I wouldn't ask you to.
But I'd just do it.
What brought that up is the fact that he sent the picture of that guy we talked about that got arrested.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks kind of like the Da Vinci guy. And you're like, no. And I was like, I think it does before he got his haircut. And even JT said no. And it's like, I know Chad. I was like, I know Chad's wanting to get a reaction out of me.
No,
I'm just gonna end it with all right, because it's like you have to prove me wrong. It's a necessity, and that's how you are. You've always been that way.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's Chad immediately, if somebody disagrees with him, he's like, I'm being attacked. That's where it goes.
He texts the most recent contact for backup. He's like,
it's
listen,
not-
am I crazy?
It's not the point.
Jim Wonderly,
he
I need you real
doesn't
quick.
He thinks he's being attacked.
So I'm under attack. You're attacking me right now as we speak, all three of you. This is the kind of crap I deal with around here, folks.
You can see it
It's
in his
unreal.
face when it changes.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right, so next. Who do we want to talk?
how many geese do you think you could fight?
Wait, let's see how long have we been going?
We're at 21.
Okay, that one probably stopped. Let's cut these. I think it's really interesting to think about how many of certain animals you could fight off. There's some animals we just wouldn't have a chance with, right? But geese, people are so scared of geese.
So
I would have no problem
yeah,
fighting a goose.
is the question how many? What's the threshold before they kill us? Is that the question?
Okay, so it's an empty arena, and every round there's
one more geese.
One more goose comes out.
Okay.
How many rounds can you last?
I've got to say, so they all come at
What's
once.
the terrain like? You're saying
It's
an
the
arena?
Roman
Just like
Coliseum.
sand, yeah, like dirt. I would
You
say
could take more on there than you could at the Springdale Library where there's a
right.
pond.
Well, we're just gonna say neutral site dirt.
Well, so I feel like this really just kind of comes back to the
What kind of geese are we talking?
The freaking ones at the
Canada?
male
don't
ones.
get them
Canada
don't get
goose?
them on it.
American Dookie geese.
Are those not
Geese.
Canadian geese at the library?
The gray and black ones?
Yeah,
those are
that's Canadian geese. Yeah.
The white ones are not.
No.
Those are the meat
how many
ones, though,
white
huh?
geese? How many white geese?
White geese?
Yeah.
Those
Big
ones
ones.
suck,
Can
dude.
you take on?
I could
This is
go
a personal question for each of us.
Oh.
at least 8 rounds with white geese. No problem.
No, here's the thing.
So-
I don't
so-
know the limit because honestly, what I would do every round is grab one by the neck and start like using it
exactly
as a
the same.
weapon.
Exactly the same.
Like, and I think I could go for a long time. Now, here's the question though: is it how many can you take until they kill you, or until you tap out?
Death.
A mob
Death.
of geese have killed somebody before.
Well, okay, so that's
Yeah.
the question: is how many that
Yes.
would take? To
How
kill
many
us?
were there to kill that? Or do we
I
need
don't
to
know.
say
There's
I
like
don't know.
two.
Two.
There were 7. You know.
you had to see these geese. Okay.
I've seen,
I
I've just
feel like
seen
it would-
so many people running from geese, like
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
geese,
honest to
turn
God-
on them and grab the weak point God gave them, and then go like
Their neck
this
that's this long. Yeah.
until they stop moving.
So like I feel like it's one of those things though. It's like they're like it's all good, and then if you run away, they're like, oh, what the heck's wrong with you? Why don't you just do something about it? But then you kill them. Everybody's like, hey, you didn't have to kill them.
yeah.
Like I feel like it's like a no-win
It's
situation.
like- that's
I don't
the thing.
care. I would fight any
in
goose.
Public,
Challenge a goose. You heard it here first. Tell your friends.
in public, where like you're just trying to have a nice, peaceful walk around the pond.
Yeah.
And a goose comes at you. No, you can't. You can't fight. You have to run because you'll be judged.
That's the
if
thing.
you kill a goose, you'll be judged.
I will kick a
But
goose
in
the
a
head.
Yeah.
fighting situation where, hey, you're fighting these geese, they're coming at you, anything's fair game, and everybody's aware, it's all in. Like
This is
I got.
could go
I could
2020.
take
Yeah.
at least like 50 geese.
At
I'm
once?
convinced. Yeah, like I would
Wow.
just start grabbing
Okay.
necks and swinging.
Brave. Okay.
But I feel like this is kind of back to the main question of life. How many fifth graders can you take before you're done?
Well, the number is significantly lower.
As soon as they can get
Yeah.
2 layers of 5th grader that will completely surround me, however many that is.
But again, what if you just like grab a fifth grader
One fifth grader.
by the legs and you start spinning and like knocking them all out?
well, they're 5th graders. They're not that dumb.
They're like 9, right?
they're-
10.
I'm 24.
I mean, I
Excuse
remember
me,
5th
I'm
grade
7.
pretty vividly. They're
I know,
10
but-
or 11. They're not that.
yeah, 10 or 11.
They're not.
You wouldn't be able to grab
second
one
graders.
and
Yeah,
swim around that
they're
long.
quick.
2nd graders, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kindergartners,
I taught
unlimited.
third and 4th graders in Sunday school. Those guys, it would take a significant number of 3 and 4-year-olds.
Oh yeah, like 400.
And,
like.
and their main tactic would be burying me alive in their corpses.
I was gonna say I could take more like first graders than geese for sure.
Well, yeah, because geese know that
Yeah.
they have to.
They know
attack
the
to
know the
kill.
weak point. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to attack you to kill you, and a 1st grader would
I
be
wonder,
like,
I wonder if a goose is like their like natural instincts like a lion where it knows to go for the neck. Like what if the juice just comes at you like trying to cut
That's
your
the thing.
They
jugular.
probably
That's
go for the
thing, though,
eyes.
is that, like even 5th graders, unless you get some psychopaths in there, they wouldn't know how to kill you.
5th graders.
Oh,
are
they've seen enough
psychopaths.
movies.
Yeah, I feel like
They play
they
Fortnite. They know click on the head. Yeah, click on the head.
They'd be fighting. They'd be like,
yeah, you got about 50 of them. They're like, this is gonna get you
You
eventually.
start running at them, they start building,
They start building.
going up ladders and crap.
that's hilarious.
You 360 them.
So like,
They call you
but like,
a racial slur.
so
Leave the chat.
so
That's what happens on video games.
so what about like? So obviously you can't take a bear, but like, what about like a cub?
Actually, there's a few people.
Oh,
that
I'd
know
wreck
about
a
bears.
cub.
Oh yeah, you could wreck a cub.
I feel like I could take a
the mother
bear.
present. Without the mother present.
Yeah.
I feel like I could kill a bear.
Yeah, you could.
But
The thing that made me think of this was that video.
like one of those like little tiny red pandas.
No, dude, I could kill a grizzly with my hands.
No, you couldn't. And that's all.
No.
And that conversation's
A
end.
bear is pushing the limits, but I do think like a tiger, I could probably kill.
Nope.
No. No.
The thing that made me think of this was the video of that guy
they're
getting
way
chased by the
faster
cougar.
than bears.
Well, there
And
was
they are more deadly.
there
than
was a
bears.
dude who did kill a mountain lion with his hands.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, he got wrecked though.
Oh yeah, he was.
His
I
face
think
was
that's
hanging
a-
off.
he was
but he won.
True.
You
the
guys seen the
point.
guy that killed the bear with his hands, like by himself?
Mm-mm.
You probably don't want to look this up, but it's not a video of him doing it. It's pictures of he's like next to the bear's dead, and his face is tore to shreds.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
would
did he
almost
win?
Die every
Yeah,
time.
he killed the bear, dude. But like his face is like irreparably damaged.
Like, what do you do? Do you stuff the bear and keep that?
They
Oh,
usually
hell yes.
they usually stab him with a knife, don't they?
No, he's saying after you've killed it, you like mount
Like
it.
you're on the ground
Absolutely. I
dismantled.
would never
is
want to
the-
see a bear again in my life.
I've
That
got
is
a-
the centerpiece of
there's
my
a room-
house.
there's a
I will
room
build
for
a
it,
house.
yeah.
I will build a house around the bear that I killed with my bare hands.
And this is the bear that I killed.
Yeah, and this is the bear that could not take me.
Wow.
So if you ever think about trying to kill me, just remember.
Yeah.
bear.
Tiger. Did you guys see the video of the cougar chasing that guy down the trail?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was scary.
It's intense. That's what made me
See,
think of that.
Here?
I'd almost.
I think it was in California.
I'd almost.
think.
I'd almost rather take a bear over a cougar.
What about a wolf? Could you kill a wolf?
I think I could escape a bear more readily. I wouldn't fight either situation.
I've heard they're fast as crap, though.
Yeah, they can run like 35 miles an hour, but they're big,
They're
and you
big.
can see where they are.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta look. There's a story. Someone was on Joe Rogan, and they got charged by a bear while they were hunting meese.
Meese.
And
Moosies.
he said it was like the scariest thing ever.
Yeah,
like
you gotta just know.
he's sitting with like someone like this, and they were trying to hunt these moose or these elk. I don't remember, but he said that he saw the bear running at him behind this dude, and he had like half a second to react, and he like yelled at the dude to like that there was like a bear. He had just enough time to yell to get over there was a bear, and they all like jumped, and like that bear would like go and hide and then run at him. Terrifying. It
Yeah.
just, like, it was like
That thing, dude.
snowing. You couldn't see him.
I'm not messing around with bears.
And what else you got?
Although it would be really cool to have a polar bear as a pet, right?
Polar bears
They're
are pretty
scarier than a
But
freaking
they're
grizzly,
very-
dude.
They're worse than.
I think
They're the biggest
significantly
bear.
more violent.
No, I'm saying like get it as like a tiny baby cub and raise that thing. Nobody's ever come
I've
to
seen
your house
too
and
many
mess with you.
stories about that, you know.
Have you
That's
heard this-
happened?
The story of
With
Mike
tigers.
Tyson with the tigers. You know, Mike Tyson had a tiger, right?
No.
You didn't know that?
It was in
Hangover.
Hangover, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
What?
Wow. Okay.
You haven't seen the American classic?
Two huge
National
pop
Treasure?
culture references just went right over Chad's head.
I know.
Anyway, Mike Tyson had a tiger. He got it because he had a car guy. When you have Mike Tyson money, you have people that are just like, you should buy this, and then you do.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Get a tiger.
He was in prison. I can't remember what for that time, but the car guy calls him, and he's like, "Yeah, you should buy this." And Tyson's like, "All right, I got money on it." And then he's like, "By the way, I'm thinking of getting some horses." And Tyson's like, "Horses?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about getting animals. I know a guy that could get you a tiger." And Tyson's like, "Give me the tiger."
Yep.
And then when he got out of jail, he had 2 baby tigers waiting for him at his house.
Yep.
Nice. Well, I mean, there's okay. I mean, here in Eureka Springs, Turpentine Creek, that is a tiger rescue. Like those
Yeah.
are all tigers that have been rescued from private homes in this area.
And they could
Yes.
get out at any time.
No, they're really good there. But
No,
yeah,
in people's house, yeah.
yeah, they're people
They
here.
just have a privacy fence. It's fine.
They found a massive loose alligator in a neighborhood like 5 years ago.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that.
An alligator.
So an alligator's like one that like I feel like I would stand zero chance.
well, so
Depending on the size.
alligator.
All you have to do with an alligator is get their mouth closed because they have no muscle power to open their mouth, only down.
Yeah. I've heard that, but
Yeah.
like once they get you, like you're dead.
Those guys that wrestle them, they just hold the mouth shut. That's
Yeah.
why you can do that.
To be fair, I don't feel like I want to wrestle an alligator because
No.
again, it's like you're good
that
until
death
you're
roll?
not.
They do that. Death
When
roll?
you're
can
not
only do
good,
that
you're I
underwater.
mean,
There was I
Because
saw
the death roll drowns you.
yeah,
Yeah.
true. That checks out.
I saw again on Joe Rogan. It was kind of same. It was like the same guy, I think. So he's big into like the nature and wilderness. He works in that kind of stuff. And he said he went. I don't remember where it was, but somewhere like a jungle area, big river, and the guy that was like giving him the ride and the tour said the biggest croc he'd ever seen. I don't remember the length, but I remember the width, which was enough to tell you. He said the width was 6 feet.
Wow.
So that's
That's
me.
just a full-on
That's
dinosaur.
me, dude.
That is a dinosaur.
That's as wide as me. That's
That's a
nuts.
dinosaur.
Yeah.
You'll see a few years ago there was like a really really big alligator out on a golf
A golf
course.
course,
Yeah.
right.
I'm
It's ginormous.
still not convinced that that video's real.
It did look
Because
a little fake.
everybody swears up and down that alligator frequents that golf course, but I haven't seen a single video other than that one of that alligator.
Well, they said about the Loch Ness monster, but she's definitely real.
Yeah, she's down
Oh,
there.
for sure.
Oh, Nessie.
I have never seen, aside from that video of the one on the golf course, an alligator that was like 5 feet tall and 15 feet long. I've never seen. I'm sure it exists, but you just don't see that.
Yeah.
You just don't see that much. That's just a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's just a straight up dinosaur.
They are. They're like, aren't they the only like things left from like the dinosaur
A
times?
certain period.
Triassic, Jurassic, I don't
Yeah.
know. But they're scary looking, dude. And if that's what like dinosaurs were like, but like able to walk and
Yeah.
much bigger,
And bigger,
like
yeah.
count me out.
Yeah, and far more aggressive.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, dead air. Everybody panicked.
There was another one.
Chad's on his phone.
Thanks, Chad.
Oh, do stupid people make you laugh or depressed?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that earlier.
Depends on like what kind of stupid. What do you, Chad? We don't. You tell me not to look at videos on air.
Okay,
Don't
but you do it all the time. Shut up, whore.
I haven't done it in a long time because you
This
asked me
one?
not to.
No,
That's not
that
the one I've seen. Hey, maybe that's your
the
second
one,
video.
The one on the golf course video is allegedly even bigger than that. Again, I think that's a believably sized alligator. The one on the golf course, like the distance it's at and everything, it has
still looks huge.
It has to be at least 5 or 6 feet tall off the ground. It's insane.
Yeah, that's impossible.
They
That's-
swear they see it
So-
all the time.
Did y'all hear about that huge python that they found in I think Florida?
Well, they're
like-
out there. They're in the Everglades.
But like I'm talking like just like oh man, I wish I could remember how long. But it was like, apparently it was like a record.
Well,
like,
yeah,
it
I mean,
was-
probably.
The
60
Florida
feet long?
Everglades is like one of the scariest places.
It's literally like dinosaur times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the U.S. at least. Like, I'm sure the Amazon's scarier, but like in the U.S., the Everglades like one place you don't want to be.
I've seen some videos from like Indonesia. I guess they have huge snakes in the water there, and they don't come out of the water. But I've seen videos of those snakes in the water, and it's like they're seriously like imposing size. It's hard to tell how long they are because they're in the water, but it's like you just see something massive moving in the water that's at least 20 feet long.
Yeah. Oh.
Could you guys kill a python?
Would I?
Could you?
With my bare hands? Absolutely not.
I don't think I could take
The whole the whole snake.
Snakes are pure muscle.
Yeah, like
No,
that thing
I
would.
was gonna say that's pretty hard. I would have to have like a knife. Like if I've always wondered, like if a python starts getting you, like they start wrapping around you.
That's it.
Like if you
You're
have a
dead.
knife and like, can you cut them and they'll stop, or they just keep going?
You would I think you would
You
have
have
to
to saw
cut
through
through
'em.
them.
You'd have to cut all the way.
I mean, they're killing you, knowing
And that's
that
assuming
it's like,
you can get it. A lot
Yeah,
of times they get you.
When I was doing my eagle project years ago, we were out in the middle of a field, and we killed a copperhead. They cut off his head, and then they wrapped the body around a barbed wire fence, like wrapped it.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 hours later, it was off of the fence and had crawled underneath the building we were working on.
you got to cut them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a headless snake.
yeah.
Is it like still alive, or did it just like kind of do that and then
It
died?
was, yeah, I mean, it was just all muscle,
Yeah.
reflexes, I guess.
That's why they call the brain without the ego like the reptile brain, is because it works even if you're not thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all of the stuff your body does, like if the part that makes you like Chad or Charlie wasn't there, they call that the reptile brain. Because a headless snake's still slithering around, and that's just what they do.
Yep.
It was found in the Everglades, in Florida, October 13th. 18 feet 9 inches. Was
The
a record.
python? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think that's a record.
For Florida.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
That's a big.
I mean, that's you, him, and me.
That's how crazy
in
the
length.
Everglades are. I saw something the other day of a big croc
Honestly, Will
and a
have
big
this.
python fighting in the Everglades. Like
What was it?
It was a big croc and a python fighting in the Everglades.
I wonder
like-
what would win.
Well, so in that instance, it's like the crocs seem to have control the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's like they said, the narrator was like, sometimes this like weird thing happens, and it's like the python intimidates the crocodile, and it just like stopped.
They
But it
both-
had it, and that shows you how it showed how tough really the skin of it is, because
Yeah.
they always say how strong the crocodile grasp is, and it didn't like do anything to it at all when he bit it.
They both like eat the food mostly whole too. So that'd be a weird matchup.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that, like, birds like that eat other birds. You've seen, like, the big pelicans will, like, eat it. Just
Owls.
They just eat it whole. The owls at least kind of tear you up a little bit.
If they catch like a pigeon or
A little
something,
chick or
down
something.
the hatch.
Yeah. I guess, like, I've seen a pelican, like, just scoop up a seagull, and it's, like, flapping in their little thing,
Yep.
and then just swallows it. Like, that seagull's still alive in there,
Yep.
like, suffocating.
There's that video of, we're talking about crocodiles and how dangerous those are. It's like a crocodile, and there's like one hippo, and the next thing you know, it's like 12 hippos, and that crocodile's gone.
Have you seen the dove over it?
Yeah, it's like, and then like as it's going under the water,
Yeah.
But yeah,
One of the
dude.
funniest videos I've seen.
Yeah, how about a hippo? I mean, no chance, right?
No.
Oh, dude,
I think they can
Hippos
run
are
faster
arguably-
than bears.
They could run faster than bears underwater.
I've
they
heard-
can run 30 miles an hour underwater.
I've heard hippos are actually the deadliest
Not
land
swim.
animal
Walk
to humans.
on the ground
I feel
underwater.
like I've heard something.
30 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
they
Not
hippos
swim.
Hippos don't eat you. They don't eat people. If they see you, they charge you, and they don't bite you. They don't throw you around. They trample you to death, and then they come back and stomp on you until you're flat, and then leave.
You want to know?
They kill you just to kill you.
It's
Yep.
funny. I saw something, and
Yep.
apparently you do, Chad. So I follow this thing. It's like nature is metal.
Yes,
or,
nature's metal.
Yeah. So
Oh,
first
that's
of all,
an awesome page.
side note, Chad, in my own, not a group Instagram message, in a random just message to me, sends me a video of an alligator eating a rabbit. No context. I was
Dude.
like, okay.
Because it's freaking crazy.
Anyway, on that,
Like, it's one of those things. It's like you see that and you're like, oh,
no, it was not like that.
I thought it was.
It was in captivity. They fed a little rabbit to an alligator.
well, it's like the rabbit comes up
Yeah,
and it
that's
goes
not
here,
fair.
and then as quickly like the rabbit like moved over here, and it was gone.
No, what's funny about that is the alligator grabbed like the rabbit's leg and like missed, and it like grabbed it and it got away, and the rabbit was like
There was
kept going, just stood right there, and then it got it.
Well, it's
There
like
was one on that-
it's seen others. It knew its fate.
Yeah.
There was one on that page that it was a game camera that caught a buck, a deer, walking down this path, like goes across the screen, and it's missing its whole back strap.
Yeah, just
Like
gone.
it's just you
And
can
but it
see
was-
its heart and its lungs.
It was like what was weird
moving,
about that?
and there was muscle, but it was like his whole side and his whole back was just exposed.
What was weird about
Wow.
that is that it seemed like surgically done. It didn't seem like something like took a
Yeah.
bite out of it or like ripped it. It literally looked like someone cut with a scalpel.
They said they thought that it was like bedded down in a field, and then a plow came over and just
okay,
ripped it
that
off
would make
of him.
that would make sense.
I was gonna say maybe it had been like that a while and it just rotted.
No,
Like,
it was
no,
it
it
was
was
pretty
clean.
fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
fresh and clean.
I've heard
Anyway,
weird
but he was
stories
gonna
about
die.
deer like freaking out. Like this is an ancient story from 4chan, and it's definitely not true. But this guy swears that he was in the woods hunting with his grandpa, and they saw a deer that was trying to get its like they shed their antlers, so he was like hitting his antlers on a rock.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't stop, and he just bashed his brains in on the rock. This deer bashed his own brains in on a rock, and then stood up on its hind legs and walked into the river and drowned. Because it bashed
Yeah.
itself brain damage.
So, I was getting that that nature's metal thing before I went on that tangent. We were talking about hippos, and they posted a video of a hippo.
Nature cast.
There was a hippo in like some muddy waters, wherever they're at, and there was it was not a deer. It's like in that family though, a little baby deer-looking thing, gazelle or
Antelope,
something stuck in the
gazelle.
mud, and there's a
An
hippo
ibis.
right there, and then there's also hyenas on the bank. And so like the hyenas are like eyeing this freaking little baby gazelle, and there's a hippo over there just minding its own business, probably from just like me to you, or maybe just like the curtain behind you. The hippo's just sitting there, not even like looking at the gazelle. Then just lunges over, grabs the gazelle in its mouth, shakes it, and throws it, and it's dead. That's how brutal hippos are.
They're not
He
even
didn't even like. I was gonna say
No.
he didn't eat it. He grabbed it, shook it twice, threw it, dead.
Just bothered him.
Dead.
Just had to kill it.
And then the hyenas just tore it up.
Just had to kill it. Oh, this really freaked me out. You just reminded me. This is short, Chet. Don't forget
21.
what you were saying.
Too
Okay.
late.
Rhino horns aren't bone. Did you know that? It's the
I feel like I heard
Is
something.
it not the same thing as like what it's on
not
deer
ivory.
antlers?
It's hair.
No.
Yes, it's the same genetic material that makes up hair. It's just It's like a 1 giga hair. It's like a massive hair.
I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it's ivory.
No, that's
They cut that
elephant.
crap and like
elephant.
save
That's
it.
elephant.
I guess, but-
They use that for medicine. That rhino horn is it's
ED.
Yeah, it's boner pills.
Yep.
So it is a bone.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're right.
And cut
Yeah.
at 22 almost.
Somebody throw me another beer.
Get out of my way, okay. That makes sense because horses' hooves are actually their fingernails,
Yes.
and a horse's legs are actually its fingers. Anatomically, did you hit record?
So you cannot put pants on horses, but you can put gloves on
you can
them.
put gloves on.
How
horses.
creepy is that,
That
though?
is so weird
that
to
a
think
horse
about.
is walking around on 4 anatomical fingers. It's not. They don't have the joints that require them to be legs.
They've got knuckles.
Their knees are
They are
knuckles.
knuckles, yeah.
They've got knuckles.
Interesting.
Is that the same thing for dogs?
No.
No, because they,
They have
Horses are weird and
individual
disgusting
nails.
and yeah.
Horses are disgusting.
I hate horses.
Yo,
so
I hate
much.
horses.
Oh, my homies hate horses. What else did I have on that list that my
You said something about
middle of the
the
night
president
topics list.
being emotionally attached. I
See,
think
Yeah, I
see,
wouldn't be talking
I used to
about
do that. I used to try and come up
Byler
with
sleep?
some I used to come up with some comedy stuff,
Yeah.
like some comedy sketches, and I would just take them down. And then 4 weeks later, when I look at it, I go, "Shit, what was I talking about?"
I'm gonna see if I can find some of the
Chad,
scripts
I remember
have written
Chad
down.
years
Hold on.
ago. Tell me if you remember this, Chad.
Do you have the note of the stand-up comedy act we were putting together for you?
He had,
Probably.
he had, and maybe this is part of it if you remember it, but you told me about this a couple years ago. For a stand-up bit, or maybe it was just a short bit, like a recorded thing. He said it would be a haunted house for rich white people, and you just have a black guy come out and say hi, and like
That's an SNL bit. Am I wrong?
that would be good. I'm
Sounds
telling you,
right.
man, that would be
there's,
good.
There's that one video of the guy who comes up behind that Chinese lady with the Iron Man mask, and he goes, "Boo!" And she's like, and then he takes the mask off, and he's black, and she goes, "Oh!" But it's real.
But it's real.
That would be funny. I'll give it to Chad. That would be a pretty funny bit.
Okay, I had some stories I hadn't told on here from college, and they're about Dylan. And
Oh,
have you met
Lord.
Dylan Byler?
No, he hasn't.
Okay. You know
I know
him,
he is,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So Dylan, my buddy Dylan, we should try to have him on here sometime. But we were roommates our first year of college, and he joined a fraternity almost right away. And so my buddy Adam, who ended up being my roommate the next year, his roommate was named Dylan as well. And I'm gonna try to not to. It doesn't matter. His last name was Daniels. My guy's name was Byler. Okay. So they were both in the same fraternity, and there was this one weekend where they had a frat party on Friday, and we were all in the same scholarship program, and we had a volunteer thing we all had to go to at 6:30 in the morning the next morning.
Oh.
So they did the rational thing and went to the frat party
Right, right,
yeah.
of course.
the whole time, the whole night. So they come in my room, both of them. They slam open the door at 4 in the morning. 4 a.m. They slam open the door. And I have to make a game time decision. I'm laying there under the covers, and I'm like, does that sound like drunk walking? And I kind of peek, and I see Byler is being held up
Oh, Lord.
by the other Dylan. And I can hear them, and my Dylan is saying, "I love you, man. You're my best friend." I mean, like every drunk thing in the book that you
Yeah.
would say as a joke. And he's like, "I want to say goodnight to Will." And he's like, "I want to say goodnight to him." And Daniels is like, "No, go to bed." And he doesn't sound drunk at all. Like maybe he didn't have anything. And he's like, "Go to bed." And I'm like, okay, if I move, this is going to be the next 45 minutes of my life at 4 in the morning. Because he's going to be like, "I'm so sorry." He's going to be apologizing, and he's not going to shut up. And so I don't move, but I'm looking their direction. And I see him push Dylan in the bed and put covers on him. And Dylan's like, "I love you, man. You're my best friend." And the other Dylan's like, "Go to sleep." So I get up in the morning, 6:15. I put my clothes on. I push Dylan. I'm like, "Hey, I'm going. Like, the bus is downstairs and we're leaving." He's like, I'll be there.
Not there.
He runs out as we're leaving with no shoes on. And I'm sitting next to Adam, the other Dylan's roommate. And he's like, did your Dylan come back drunk last night? He's like, I was like, yeah. What, did your Dylan? He's like, he came in and turned all the lights on and came up to me and said, hey, bro, I'm not going to wake you up, okay? And I was like, okay.
Hey, man, I'm not going to wake you up. That's awesome.
And I can just, it's funnier if you know Adam, but he's just like,
I know who he is.
okay.
He's funny. I still, dude,
Great.
in my camera roll, and you can put it on if you want, but probably not. I still have a video saved of him playing Guitar Hero and breaking it.
You have that?
Yes.
Oh, I need that video. You have to send that to me.
I guess we're not playing guitar.
Dude, so Dylan would sleep talk really bad, and there's like one way to see if somebody will sleep talk. You just press their shoulder into the bed and say their name, and if they don't wake up, then they're sleep talking. Dylan would do it every time, and we would torment him. We would like pile crap on top of him and be like, Dylan, you're being buried alive. We would have like 6 people in there, like torturing him while he was sleeping. And he would be like, no. And then we'd take all the blankets off. We're like, it's so cold, Dylan, it's so cold. And immediately he'd be like, I think about it all the time.
Nice.
But one time, Adam, I was doing something for class in the lobby, and Adam came out. He's like, hey, do you want to go bother Dylan? He's taking a nap. I was like, don't mess with him. Because it was like 6 days in a row of messing with Dylan. And so he's like, I'm going to go mess with him. And so 25 minutes goes by, and I get a text in my group me, and it's a video, and I watch the video, and it's of Adam filming Dylan sleeping. And he's like, hey, Dylan, what's the answer to number 2 on the quiz? And Dylan is immediately, he's like, B. And Adam's like, why is it B? And Dylan's like, because it had to be. and, and Adam says, got him. And Dylan goes, got him. I was like, there's no way this is real.
That's great.
That's what you miss out on if you don't get roommates in college, kids.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't do it. It's not worth
So
it.
what's
You shouldn't go to
Pentagon
college.
plane crash?
Let's not talk about that.
Is it about the 9/11 plane that crashed
Do
into the
you know
Pentagon?
about that?
Dude, you don't think I don't know about everything about 9/11?
Wait, are you suggesting we don't know about the plane that hit the
I didn't know.
Pentagon?
I hadn't seen.
No.
I hadn't
the
seen.
fact that there wasn't a plane that hit the Pentagon.
I hadn't
air
seen a
quoted.
picture of the damage to the Pentagon until last week, and I was like, "There's not one part of that that's an airplane.
Nope.
I don't think so either, but
There's not a single. There's
And
And
the
we know
only-
why, right?
the only
you guys
video
know why, right?
I
that
don't
the
know.
freaking the
what's
only
the
video the
point?
Pentagon
No.
has is a
No.
potato video
the
of
part of the
traffic
Pentagon
camera.
Yeah,
that
it's just
blew up.
what?
You know why?
What is it?
The
Because
dude who was
the guy that found the money
Was
in the budget
missing.
was missing, right?
Yeah, they
he
found-
was gonna
he died.
He died in that. It was the financial department of the Pentagon or
And
whatever,
not that many people died in it.
and he was
Yeah.
gonna whistleblow, and so a plane crashed into that section where he was one of the only people in that section, and
Yeah.
he died.
They say it's hard to see the plane because it actually went through all 3 layers of the Pentagon. It just went under the top of the 2, the inner 2, so you can't see it. I'm like, well, there would have to be plane wreckage there for me to see that.
Yes.
People saw, or most people have seen, the video of the plane hitting one of the Twin Towers.
Everybody's seen
And it
in the whole world.
obliterates, and like that hitting the Pentagon should have done so much more damage than what was done.
On top of the fact that an untrained pilot from the Middle East can fly a 747
They weren't
at
untrained.
ground
They
level.
weren't untrained.
That's
They
what.
can't
That's
know.
the official story, though.
Oh.
That's the official story. That's what I'm saying. Can fly it at ground level and hit a target
Absolutely
a quarter
no way.
square mile.
Yeah, and they're going 400 miles an hour.
I'm not saying it was an inside job. I'm just saying, just like JFK, the official story doesn't add up. There's something missing.
What's like if all there's all that they say there was so much.
It wasn't
It's because JFK's alive.
That's what you want to say.
because JFK.
QAnon told me.
Thank you, QAnon chat.
So it's like there was all that fuel to burn through in the Twin Towers. Where's all that fuel on the Pentagon? Like, I feel like it was just like an explosion that happened.
I don't buy
and,
I don't think the Twin Towers. I don't have any conspiracy theories about it. The building next to them that just fell over, kind of weird.
What, Building 7?
Yeah, kind of weird. But the thing
Kinda
about the
fell
Twin
over.
Towers
Yeah,
is
no, they found
a
evidence
plane
of
flew
C4
through them.
I'm still not convinced about that though.
I think
What?
that's the least
It's like
sketchy
so.
part to me.
It's the
What?
least, but it's still sketchy. So in my mind, plane flies through the top of it. Maybe it'll fall. If it's standing for an hour and a half, I'm like, why is it gonna fall now? Okay, so you get a pass for one tower. The fact that the second tower also fell the exact same way, I don't buy it.
There's some weird stuff.
They found. They also. I mean, there has been evidence of like C4 that was like planted at
a lot of
Building 7.
firefighters say that they heard explosions in the tower.
Several people.
Yeah. But you can't find any of that footage anymore.
Of course not.
What
Yo,
was
did we just debunk 9/11
there
on
was
the
Yes.
podcast?
another thing.
I don't want to say that
Pentagon.
Bush did 9/11, but
Okay,
At least
here's-
Dick Cheney.
Here's what,
That homeboy on to something, dude.
that dude made some
we
money.
needed all.
Yeah. My theory about the Pentagon is that the Pentagon was bombed, and that this is, I think, my Occam's razor of 9/11. Occam's razor is the most possible solution to the problem is the most likely. It's like the crazier your solution is, it's probably not what actually happened.
Right.
So here's what I think. I think the Pentagon might have been a bomb. This is my explanation for the story. And the American government didn't want the people to think a foreign power could fly a plane into both World Trade Centers, bring down Building 7, and have a bomb ready to go in the Pentagon all at the same time. So they just said they hijacked 4 planes.
What if they were like
Well, technically,
That's my theory.
Well, technically, it would be, I guess. Well,
Here's-
Building 7 just fell, so there's no plane involved. So yeah, I was about to say there was another
fell
plane
over.
It just
a plane
fell
that
over.
crashed
Here's-
out in.
They got scared.
Here's my theory, is that it was a bomb in the Pentagon, completely unrelated to 9/11. It was just a huge coincidence. They're like, whoa, we got lucky.
Well, yeah.
You know, that's not the first time, like, the entire side of the Pentagon has been blown up, right?
I feel like I've heard about it in the past. Yeah.
The Mr. Fink, the math teacher at Central, worked at the Pentagon in the 70s when there was a bombing. A
What did he
terrorist
do?
brought a bomb in.
What was he? What did he do there?
I think he was a number cruncher.
I was gonna
think-
say
I
he
think
went.
he did
Well, he
math.
went from there to teaching high school.
He was in the military for a long time, and I think he just took a military position at the Pentagon.
That's gotta be better than being a high school teacher, though.
I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not back then.
Where was the other plane that crashed out in the field? Where was it?
Pennsylvania.
93.
Was it Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
It's
Flight
when all the
93.
people on the plane took it over.
Well, and
Crashed. It was shut down.
So my brother was at a big like police, fire, EMS like convention thing, and apparently the first person on the scene, a state trooper, so what he had written down in his log wasn't that plane crashed, but that it was shot down.
Why would a state trooper know what a plane getting shot down looks like?
I mean,
Because there's an
I'm not
explosion
trying to-
in the air before it
Did he see it?
crashes.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the way you
that's what I'm
described it is that
saying,
he
yeah.
just arrived and he's like, yeah, definitely shot down.
Yeah.
Like he's an expert.
well, I mean, but also, I mean, think about how many
I feel like
how many police officers are ex-military. He could have been. He could know exactly what that looks
He
like.
could.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I feel like if he knew that it got shot down, his story would be that he saw it get shot down. Not that he can look at the wreckage of a plane in the field and be like, a bomb did this. You know, I don't buy that.
Hey, he's a state trooper, all right? He's
a
got a trained
I'm
guy.
a state. You're talking to a future U.S.
US.
state trooper.
Well, and then apparently Dick Cheney gave F-16s the right to shoot down the planes that they knew were hijacked.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
But
you
of
gotta-
course, we never did that.
Well,
Russia did that like 2 months ago.
They were like, yo, in these.
what's like?
Nice save, Chad. Wow.
We can't say that.
I watched the whole podcast. I'm gonna censor you. My God.
But hey, you know,
We have to bleep out Evan saying "Juan" every 20 minutes. That's happened twice on a podcast. So
Every time you call a Hispanic guy,
you say
Juan.
"Juan."
I've done that twice.
So the exact number of times I've said "cool."
Every 20
so
minutes.
let's move on.
Have I said it 2 or 3 times already today?
Well, and then I said you've done it like twice right after that.
Stick to your guns, okay?
Dude, I am sticking to
You know,
him.
pick.
Hey, it's
That's his sister.
yeah, that has to leave in that entire conversation. This whole area needs to leave.
It's the worst, the funniest parts.
I know.
The most offensive parts are the funniest. But I had something to add to that, but I can't remember what it was.
Say it.
It was something about the United
Well,
93. They were cool,
the other one of the other like things that don't add up about the trade center is that steel melts at a higher temperature than jet fuel burns at.
That was the whole argument. Jet
I
fuel
don't
doesn't melt
think
steel
jet
beams.
fuel has anything to do with it.
Does
I
it
just
melt-
don't think it has anything to
It
do
would
with
melt
it.
steel beams?
A plane flew through the building. It flew through the building.
Yes,
It
but
completely destabilized the building.
But the thing
I don't
is
buy
that
it.
they're saying that there was steel that was melted. There was melted steel there, and steel should not melt at the heat that it melts at a higher heat than jet fuel.
What does jet fuel have anything to do with it?
Because that's what
That would be the
is-
hottest fire that
that's
was in
the
there.
Only, yeah, that's the hottest accelerant in the thing. What else would cause
wait,
steel to?
wait.
What else would cause steel to melt?
I don't
Wait,
think
hold on.
I don't think anybody official has ever said anything about
Of
jet
course not.
fuel. I don't think
Wait.
anybody. I don't think it has
course
anything
not.
You know
to
how
do with it.
conspiracy theory works?
Wait, when was the World Trade Center built?
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
80s?
So what's the likelihood that there was asbestos in there? Those
Oh,
people were
there's-
gonna die anyway.
Well, that's like everybody within 4 miles of them when they fell has cancer now.
Yeah.
No joking. They just passed a bill this year to get like those firefighters insurance.
Nice. Thanks, Obama.
20 years later.
What else can I check off this?
But I gotta say, I gotta commend the people of Flight 93. They were pretty brave. Not as brave as Bruce Jenner, but
Yeah, naturally. Who has that joke that's like men are so much better at everything than women that
What'd I
even
say?
a man is woman of the year?
Yeah.
you remember what I
after
said
that.
in Among Us today?
We were playing Among Us earlier, and he was like,
I can't take
He was-
credit for it. I saw it somewhere else.
"Well,
but-
he was like, let's rate the genders. Coming in at number 2, we have women."
I said, let's rate genders by their strength. I said, coming in at number 2 is women.
TikTok.
Yeah.
That's that TikTok.
And then somebody else was like, "Who's number 1?"
I thought about saying something off the wall, like non-binary.
Do we need to restart these?
Oh, is it time?
It's at
Probably.
17.
You wanna just go ahead
Well,
and-
might as well do.
Okay.
We'll just do one more segment.
So
You can't
guys-
cancel me if I'm dead.
The
Liz.
funniest moment from like 2 podcasts ago was when Chad was like, and
Trying
we're
not
like,
to
"Are you
laugh.
fine?" No, he was trying to say something. He was like,
I need to make a clip of that tomorrow. I want to watch that on repeat, dude.
Don't.
"You were like, we were like, are you okay?"
And what did I say?
You said it smells like burnt toast.
I said, "No, I'm not."
You smelled smell burnt toast.
Okay. So one thing I wanted to share with you guys, because I don't think I've told any of you this. I told Chad this because we ate at Taco Bell one time.
Only once.
Well, no, several times. Several times. But this week, a year ago, I went on that trip for work that was really dubious.
Yes. Oh yeah.
To that island country as
Yes.
far away from here as you can go.
Yes.
The reason I can't say where it is because it's a predominantly Muslim country, and I was doing work for a Christian organization there. They don't have a problem with Christians being there, but they do have a problem with foreigners who are Christians running businesses there and like influencing people. So just for context, on the plane, I got a card that said no tobacco, no firearms, no pork products, no dogs, no material contrary to Islam, no bombs. Bombs was under material contrary to Islam.
That's way down there.
Yeah. So this is the story of the most stressful day of my entire life. And it's been 365 days since this day. I've had a lot of time to think about this. This was the last day I was doing work there. It was a Thursday. And we had been staying at this absolute dump. It was a dump, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It had air conditioning, and the rooms were closed off from the outside. But the main shared area, the living room, the kitchen, had vents that led directly outside.
On the doors. Yeah.
And, yeah. No grates, so bugs were just flying in and out. It was humid as crap. There was no central AC. Only the bedrooms had AC. So I was stoked that we were actually going to spend a night at a resort. And this country it's really expensive to go stay there on a vacation. So I was like, this is going to be a nice resort. We're going to go, like, finally get a decent night's sleep in a climate-controlled room. Have a bathroom that's not just one room with a hose and a toilet. That's literally, like, the sink, toilet, shower. Same room, no dividers, same floor.
Nice.
So when you took a shower, the entire bathroom was soaked.
Mm-hmm.
So I wake up, I feel like crap because I had Arkansas allergies, and then I went to a tropical island and got tropical island allergies, and I'm pretty sure I got Rona on the plane. Are you good? Did you get lava in your eye?
Yes.
Did you get the splash up?
The splashback?
Right in my eyeball. Okay.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
It's never been better.
So I go in the morning and I'm like, hey, what time do we need to check in at the resort? Because I'm like preoccupied with this. On top of being stressed out of my mind, this is the first time I've ever left the country. I'm jet lagged. It takes 3 real life days to get there of travel. It takes 3 complete days of travel to get there and 2 days to go back because you get a day back. You just have to understand my mindset. Go to work. I'm like, when do we need to check in? We're going to eat dinner and then go, and we'll go get you checked in at around 7. Great. Well, we're going to do night fishing and then eat dinner, so it might be more like 8. Great. We get to about 4 o'clock. They have a party at the place I'm working. All the natives come in. They have a contest where they can see which American can say the language the best.
Did you win?
No, I wasn't running. I was filming. So 4 comes and goes. We go down to the docks, and they're like, we're going to go fishing with a bunch of natives. And then so-and-so's coming, this guy's coming, and then the boss of the place is coming. So me and my guy that I went with, we're at the docks at 5, and that's when we were supposed to meet there. The boss of the place texts. He's like, I'm going to be there like 5:30. He gets there at 5:30. 30 minutes late. We were supposed to be on the ocean no later than 5:15. On the ocean. And it's getting dark. So he's like, I invited 4 or 5 guys from the place. And I'm like, oh great, 4 or 5 guys. Which one of these boats is ours? It's smaller than this room. And we're going in the ocean. The ocean. So I get on this boat, fiberglass boat, just blue fiberglass boat, like one of those tubs you kept your toys in as a kid. And the engine is just like in the floor. So we're standing that far off the water, and there's 9 guys on it, and 3 of them speak my language.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, this is really freaking stressful. No life jackets.
Of course not. Of course
It's just the ocean.
And you've got cameras and stuff, right?
I didn't. I left them on the scooter. So, no, I think I left them. I left them at our place, so we wouldn't have to lock them up in the scooter. That's beside the point. So, I don't need to tell you, but it did start raining. It did start raining on our uncovered boat in the middle of the ocean, in the dark. And so I'm sitting there. I'm fishing. They give me a line, and then they're like, they look at me. They're like, I'm like, okay, and I get it, and I start doing that, and they're like, and I take it, and I go, and he's like, I don't know how to do it, I guess. So I caught coral. And it's raining on us in this boat in the middle of the ocean.
Naturally.
All I can see of the shore is the cell phone tower. That's all I can see. I can't see the shore anymore, just the top of the tower. And I look at my clock, and it's 8.
Nice.
It's the time that we were supposed to check into the resort. And I'm kind of like, I look over at the boss guy. I'm like, hey, like we were supposed to eat dinner with those people at like 6 and then check into the hotel by now. And it's 8. He's like, yeah, they'll be all right if we're a little late. I'm like, well, we're 2 hours late already. So he's like, okay, I'll tell him to turn around. But he was like dismissive. He's like, why are you so worried about it? Like, I get we're on island time, but I'm trying to check into this hotel and like leave you guys.
Yes.
So we get back and, I get on this scooter. They didn't give me a scooter. I had to double up on a scooter with the guy I came with, who's 6'8", 240.
Nice.
And I'm 6 feet tall. I was 180 pounds. And we're on a one-seater moped. It's bottomed out to the ground.
Feeling every bump.
And we're going 15. And when I tell you, I have never seen it rain harder in my life than when my butt hit leather, it starts full on island monsoon. And we drive long enough for me to be like, I'm behind Greg, and Greg can't see. I can't see. Greg can't see. We're going 15 on the road in a monsoon. And I'm screaming. I'm like, pull over! And he's like, where? I'm like, go to the office and pull over. So we go to the office, and I text the boss guy. I'm like, hey, we're at the office. We're just going to wait out the rain. Come pick us up in the truck. And he's like, okay, I'll come pick you up. We wait 25 minutes. I'm like, the island's a square mile. So I text him again. I'm like, dude, like, we're waiting. He's like, I actually went over to where we're going to eat dinner. If you just want to meet us over here, that'd be fine. I'm like, you forgot what the point of this was. And it's that there's a monsoon and we're on a moped. So we go over there, soaked, top to bottom soaked. I have a picture of myself. I'll put it in the podcast. And we eat dinner. They're eating spaghetti and clams.
Classic dish.
Not necessarily what I was itching for. And I just sit there and I eat. I'm completely silent. I'm literally sitting like this, I remember. And the boss guy was like, Will's really quiet tonight. I'm like, uh-huh. Wonder why. Maybe it's because you abandoned me. And so we go back to the place where we're staying, pack all our crap up, leave that place, get in the truck, drive over to the resort.
What time is it?
11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. We get there, the lobby's closed. So you have to understand, it probably cost $400 a night to stay here. And so the boss guy calls the manager of the lobby at his home phone. And he's like, hey, we're trying to check in over here. Do you think you could swing by and check us in? So the guy leaves his home at 11 p.m. to come check us into this hotel.
Oh my gosh.
And we get checked in. I go upstairs. I see the bathroom. And I have a picture of the bathroom. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. And it's literally just a walk-in shower. That was it. I was like, that's the story of the most stressful day of my life.
Holy crap.
I
That
thought
You have to
you were
understand.
I thought you were going to say he couldn't get in. You couldn't check in that hotel.
I would have probably died. I probably would have walked out into the ocean. Yeah.
That's
and
the
then
only. That's the next logical step.
I had a severe panic attack on the flight back, but that's because a baby was crying and I just couldn't handle it anymore. But yeah. Of every flight we took 9 flights. 7 of them had babies on them. I counted.
If you have a baby, I feel like you're just not allowed on a plane.
I agree.
Or in a movie
I think we
theater.
talked about this before.
Yeah, or a movie theater.
Yeah.
Like, just
I mean,
actually,
who brings a baby to
restaurants, don't
members?
go out in public with your kid. Nobody wants to see your kid.
I think restaurants
And you
should
wonder
have,
why I don't go out.
Yeah.
Kill yourself.
Get a babysitter. Get
Kill
one.
yourself. You're like, just bring Ruby. It's not that simple.
It's not that simple. I think restaurants should have places where families who have kids can all sit in the same room.
They can all suffer together.
Yeah, and it should just have a door that closes. That's it.
That would,
Soundproof door.
I don't even.
Soundproof glass,
If hearing
like-
a baby cry through a door is way different to me than having it in the same room as me.
Especially when it's the size of MJ and it's just like one room.
Oh no,
Dude, that happened.
baby and MJ.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
I have a kid, and I'm like,
it
what are
takes
you
about 15 seconds for JT to go, all right, who's going to ask them to leave? 15 seconds later, after a kid's crying, JT's like, all right, they need to go. They need to leave.
Yeah, we take this premarital class through fellowship, and the people that we do it at a couple's house, and they have 3 boys. One of them is 1.5. He is in the 90th percentile of head size and height. So it's like a 2-foot tall, 40-pound half-year-old.
That's awesome.
And he's like massive, and that dude can scream. Like they live in a 2-story house. I mean, it's probably at least a $250,000 home. It's not a small house. And when that kid screams, it's like it shoots straight through my head.
I've never understood. So I can say this having a 1.5, almost 1.5-year-old. Like before I had this, our daughter, and we would go places like our church, for example, would have a connection group once a month, and we'd go to someone's house, and they'd bring their kids that were like 2, 3, 4. All of them were kind of around that age, and like the younger ones especially would just like yell and like be like not necessarily screaming and crying, but just like being loud and yelling.
Yeah.
And like the parents would just not do anything, and they'd be like, "Oh, you'll understand when you have kids."
You
I
still
don't understand.
No.
Like
They
if
just
Ruby,
tone it down.
if I take Ruby out to eat and she starts acting up, we go outside and I let her calm down and get some energy out, and then we're good. Like it's
Yeah.
not that hard.
See, anytime after like 5 up until like
Strokish.
It was
like
a mild one.
12, my dad would like if we were acting up,
Oh,
no
smack
hesitation.
Smack
Just-
you?
Oh yeah,
Oh wow.
no hesitation.
I don't think I ever acted up in public to the point where my parents had to hit me.
We would go on walks. Like, yeah. We'd
I
go
on
outside.
walks.
I
Behind the
only ever
restaurant.
remember my parents getting upset.
They wouldn't usually hit me, but we would go on walks.
I didn't get whacked ever. I remember like when you're a kid, you like get energy from your parents. You don't like know what it is. I only ever remember them getting like upset when I would get like sick in public. Like I only remember one time, but I was getting pictures with Santa at the mall, and I had what our family calls the Martian death flu, because there was one Christmas where everybody in our family was deathly ill, and it started with me. But we went and got pictures with Santa. We got McDonald's, and I crapped my pants.
Oh.
And I must
How
have
old were you?
been 2 or 3,
Okay.
maybe 4, but I don't think so. And my mom hadn't packed a change of anything. So
You remember this?
I remember having to carry McDonald's into the bathroom. That's all I remember, and I've connected that memory with the story my mom told me. I have a lot of flashbulb memories from when I was really, really young.
Yeah, I've got still images. Yeah.
I don't.
Grace doesn't remember anything before she was like 9.
I don't remember anything before I was 6.
And that's normal.
But-
Kids like come online when they're like 6 or 7.
Yeah. See. Okay. That
It's like,
checks
I
out too,
definitely
but
have-
that's also when my parents had their accident. So I've always kind of been
Oh, well,
relating
yeah.
to, and stuff was really shitty before the accident.
Yeah.
So
See, I
kinda,
had
like,
trauma when I
blocked
was
it out.
3. So there
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remember like images from my head. Definitely from when I was like 4 or 5, but like I don't remember much. So
Yeah.
anyway, continue. Is there any more to that story?
No, I just remember like having this McDonald's that I didn't want to eat, and my mom was mad I didn't want to eat, but I was like, I'm sick, and then she got sick, and then my dad got sick.
Nice.
It was like really bad.
Yeah, like I don't ever plan to like have to. I don't plan on ever
Ow.
hitting Ruby or my kids in general.
Spanking is one thing, but like just like whacking your kid in public,
Yeah.
that's uncomfortable for everybody.
Yeah, so
Not me, dude. If some kid in the restaurant is just going to town for like 10 minutes,
I'll
and
hit
they
someone
find
else's kid.
well, and they well, and the parent,
That's what it sounds like you're going.
well, and if the
here.
parent finally like whacks him or something, like I'm not uncomfortable. I'm like, dang,
Thank
straight,
God.
thank
Yeah,
you.
It
You're
always
like-
makes me uncomfortable when like people are getting.
I got a
like,
story.
Like kids are getting in trouble in public. That makes me uncomfortable for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I got a pretty funny story here. So we got a guy at work named Mike. He's a little nuts, but he can get mad about stuff, like easily and like unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So one time, one of our boss's stepsons came into work. He was a little kind of younger, especially at the time. I think he was 7 or 8. Hey, listen to this story, y'all. This is funny. That's all right. Anyway,
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, 7 or 8. He came in, and we have an arcade at Sam's, and it's free. All the games are free.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have one in there, and y'all probably know it, Chad.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Important things going on over here.
Jeez.
No one would know if you wouldn't react because the camera's gonna be on you. You piece of shit.
Yeah. Use your brain for once.
I need y'all's reaction.
Okay, we will react.
Okay. Anyway, the story's getting less funny. This is getting less funny. So.
Because of
I
you,
know.
not because of us.
You ruined it.
So anyway, he brought his stepson to work, and he was playing the arcade. We have Doodle Jump in there, which you probably know from your phone, okay?
Yeah.
But they have an arcade version of it.
Nice.
Yeah, so every time it's free play. So normally, if it wasn't free play, it costs 50 cents or whatever. You put in your 50 cents, you hit start. It's like, bong, makes a loud sound, and you're about to start. Well, it's free, okay? So you can just hit that button, and it'll keep making that sound. So we get his stepson, and Mike's over in the area that's by the arcade selling some furniture. There's a bunch of stuff right there. And we go get the stepson, and we're like, hey, if you hit that start button 1,000 times, you'll get like free money or something. So he's like, oh really? He goes over there, and he's like, like right in Mike's ear. And Mike, like I walk by Mike, and he turns around, and his face is so red, dude. And he's with his customers, and you can just see the anger in his face. He's like, wanting to kill that kid.
If I could kill you with a look, I would.
It was funny.
Great story, Evan. Thank you very much.
Yes, that was hilarious.
Kill yourselves.
Thank you very much.
I'm just like, I'm hearing the sound. I'm thinking about Sam's.
Great
What?
input. Thanks, Jen.
It's
Great, Chad.
you guys are the worst.
Was this what was important? The dog?
Yes.
Ugh.
Do you remember that mission trip we went on where we stayed at the summer camp?
Vaguely.
We rode the bus all the way out there, which was how it always went.
I do. The biggest memory I have is how ginormous the crows were there.
Yeah, the demon crows.
Those were ridiculous, right? I mean, I get that we
Yeah.
were smaller
Yeah.
people, like those were wild.
Do you remember the arcade? They had an arcade in there. There was like a little place that was kind of like a town. There's like a facade.
Where?
This camp we went to a mission trip at.
Oh.
I don't remember an arcade.
They had a pinball machine in there that had a speaker that was wonky, and it would just turn on for a fraction of a second, 10 million decibels, and just go. And I was standing right at the side of it with my ear directly. Like,
Nice.
freaking blew my head off. I think I started crying, and everybody was like,
You're like, just give me a minute, man. Just give me a minute.
That roughed me out.
all right.
I haven't played very many. I haven't played very many like arcade games. I've been to Arcadia once,
Yeah.
but
That's a cool place.
I
yeah,
like
I've
that
never
place
actually
a
like
lot.
like played arcade games and stuff though.
It was before our time.
Yeah.
Next week, I think I should make cheddar steak next week. Can we do
Next
that?
week, election cast.
Could we do that on camera? Just take the camera in there?
We could take the camera outside.
Yeah, we can.
You want to do it on the grill?
Ooh, we can do it on the grill.
I got a new
I think
grill.
I can make him a pretty good one not on the grill though, but like I made
We
one.
can do our podcast.
Yeah, like the
outside
time you made
next
them on the
week.
grill at Cody's.
Listen, dude. The only reason I wouldn't want to do it grilled, I can do it. I need a cast iron pan though because I like to baste it and stuff. That's super good.
I don't have a cast iron pan right now.
All right, on the stove it is.
All right.
All right.
Next week,
Congratulations, President.
Who is it?
President Trident.
Who do we
Trident.
think? Who do we think's gonna win?
Trident.
Out of curiosity,
I honestly
not who do we
think- I
want.
honestly think
Not who
Trump
do we
will
want.
win.
Who do we
I
think?
Kanye.
I hope.
That's
I
who
hope
you
to
want,
God-
not
I hope
who's
to
going
God
to.
Kanye will
No,
win.
they're not even projecting Kanye.
He
right
he promised to double his rent this month if Kanye wins.
now. Well, Kanye won't win.
That's why I said it.
He won't win.
know
The
he
college won't vote
You could
for
bet
him.
much more than that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I bet my life.
Well,
Kanye won't win.
If somebody
you
gives
know the kind of things that
10,000
happen in my
to 1
life, though,
odds on
right?
Something you take.
I go. All right, I'll give you $10,000. Kanye wins.
If John Mellencamp wins an Oscar, I'm going to be a very rich man. You know that one?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
See you guys next week.
Peace.
Later.
Love and college, man.